Stop everything for a moment. Imagine someone you love deeply coming close to you, looking straight into your eyes and saying, I have something urgent to tell you. If you ignore it, you could lose everything. Your heart races, your mind scrambles to guess what comes next. It's impossible to just get up and walk away, isn't it? That's exactly how Jesus speaks when he issues a warning that millions still pretend not to hear. A warning that's not about politics or conspiracy theories, but about your very life, here and for eternity. Have you noticed how the words of Jesus cut through the centuries and still unsettle people today? He didn't speak to soothe egos, but to awaken hearts. In Matthew 7, for instance, he says something that sounds like thunder. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Stop and breathe. This isn't a nice metaphor. It's a direct, shocking warning that shatters the comfortable idea that simply saying his name is enough to be safe. Look around. We live in a time where people run after everything: success, money, entertainment. But almost no one stops to ask, what if I'm wrong? Jesus knew that the louder the world got, the harder it would be to hear his voice. That's why he spoke of a narrow path, a small gate, something that requires a decision, not just empty words thrown into the air. Picture a bright, busy street at night, full of flashing signs, loud music, and laughter. Everyone looks happy, confident they're going the right way. But off in the shadows, there's a small, almost invisible door without any flashing lights. That's where Jesus points. He says, the gate is narrow and the road is difficult that leads to life, and few find it. Few. That word cuts like a blade. Maybe you're feeling uncomfortable right now. That's normal. This warning isn't meant to paralyze you, but to wake you up. Jesus isn't playing with fear. He's opening the eyes of those brave enough to face the truth. He speaks of a living faith, of obedience that goes deeper than appearances, of a heart that isn't satisfied with just looking the part, but truly longs to be transformed. Think about the crowds that followed him 2,000 years ago. They wanted miracles, bread, healing. But when he started talking about sacrifice, many turned back. Today is no different. How often do you hear messages that promise blessings and comfort, but rarely warn you about the cost of truth? The warning of Jesus is the opposite of the easy message. He says following him costs something. It requires choosing truth when it's easier to just blend in. Now imagine this scene, a sea of people shouting, Lord, Lord, and Jesus replying, I never knew you. Chilling, isn't it? His warning isn't against those who stumble, but against those who fake it, against those who speak beautifully but don't live what they say. He's not looking for memorized phrases. He's looking for whole hearts. And here's the most intense part. Jesus doesn't leave room for neutrality. Either you walk the narrow road, or you go along with the crowd that doesn't even realize where it's heading. He describes it as the difference between building a house on rock or on sand. The storm comes to everyone, but only those who hear and obey his word remain standing. Maybe you're thinking, but I go to church, I pray, I sing. That's good. But Jesus' warning cuts past all of that. He asks, is your heart mine? Does your life reflect my love? Do you obey me even when no one is watching? Those are the kinds of questions you can't answer in a hurry. Your past, your religion, your story, it doesn't matter. What Jesus offers is more than a set of rules, it's real life. But to receive it, you must have the courage to let go of what's fake, what's just an outward show. That's why this warning is so shocking. It tears off masks and exposes what's real. Take a deep breath. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you already knows you can't just switch off and pretend nothing was said. It's no accident you're hearing this now. Maybe this is God's way of calling you through all the noise, a final gentle knock at the door of your heart before it closes. Jesus told a parable that fits this exact moment. 10 virgins waiting for the bridegroom. All had lamps, all looked ready, but 5 let their oil run out. When the bridegroom came, the door was shut, and they were left outside, crying. What was missing? Watchfulness. A heart that was truly awake. They were present, but they weren't prepared. How many live like that today, appearing faithful but with no living fire inside? Look within. Does your faith feel like a routine? Just empty words repeated without life? This is the moment to decide whether you'll keep pretending or let the light of Christ truly enter. This warning from Jesus is meant to pull you out of spiritual sleep before it's too late. He doesn't want you to live in fear. He wants you to live awake. Because the truth is, life is a breath. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. Jesus promises that those who love and truly follow him have nothing to fear, even when the storms come, even when everything seems to collapse. But that safety isn't automatic. It comes through surrender. Imagine standing before Jesus on the final day. There's no audience, no stage, no likes, just you and him. And then hearing the most beautiful words in history. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord. That's the invitation he's giving you right now, even as you hear these words. But he also spoke of another outcome. People who live for appearances, who used his name for their own gain, who confused religion with relationship. To them, he says, I never knew you. It's harsh, but it's a truth that saves. He'd rather wound our pride now than let us be lost forever. Do you see how this warning isn't a minor detail of the gospel? It's the heart of it. Jesus didn't come to create a comfortable religion. He came to open a path to life. A path that passes through the cross and self-denial but ends in unshakable joy. And it's exactly that path that most people try to ignore today. Look at your own story. How many times have you felt called to change but put it off? How many times did you know you needed to leave something behind but chose the wide road because it was easier? Jesus knows every excuse. He knows every wound, and still he keeps calling. He calls because he loves. The warning is shocking, but it's also an invitation to life. It's like a doctor pointing out a dangerous wound so you'll accept the medicine that can save you. And that medicine is him, his presence, his word, his grace. It's not about perfection. It's about decision. Maybe right now you feel a weight in your chest, a mix of fear and hope. That's the Holy Spirit stirring you. Don't ignore it. Don't delay. Jesus said, "Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart." Today, not tomorrow. Not when life feels more organized. Today is the day to say yes. Imagine this video as a trumpet blast in the middle of the night. It's God reminding you that the door is still open, but not forever. And the question that remains is simple and powerful. Will you enter? Will you take the next step, or will you keep pretending you have endless time? You don't need to understand everything to begin. You just need to take the first step. Give your life to Jesus, talk to him, open your heart right now. Wherever you are, he's there. There's no place or situation he cannot reach. Don't let the world steal this moment. Don't let a notification or a distraction take away what God is planting inside you right now. This could be the turning point of your life, the moment that changes everything forever. If you feel you need to make that choice, speak to him silently right now. Say, Jesus, I want to truly know you. I want to walk the narrow road in the truth that sets me free. Forgive me, guide me, transform me. It's not about fancy words. It's about sincerity. And if you already follow Jesus but realize your heart has grown cold, this is the call to reignite the fire, to return to your first love, to let his life flow through you with power again. The warning of Jesus isn't to scare you, it's to save you. It's to give you peace in the midst of chaos. It's to make sure that, in the end, you are among those who enter through the narrow gate and find true life. So before you go, do this. Pause, reflect, pray. Ask God for courage to live in truth, even if it means swimming against the current. The road is narrow, but it's the only one that leads to eternal joy. If this message has touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment about what God spoke to your heart. And subscribe to continue receiving words that awaken and strengthen your faith. This could be the beginning of a new story. Don't put it off.